Aloha friends, welcome to this Moonday reading. Lots of energy in here per usual. I feel like this reading is going to be rather quick today because in the next several days there will be 2 more readings coming through that are going to be a little bit more in depth. That's going to go into they're telling me that's going to clear the confusion. So today they want me to do 2 separate piles for this Moonday reading. So we have these 2 cards that came through. Let's see if I can get them to focus. There we go. So here's the first one. And here is the second one. Now, they do want me to let you know that this one actually came out in reverse. So, whatever that means to you. These are original tarot cards. However, I have never really used an original type tarot style deck. I use Dreams of Gaia, and the pictures are incredible, and I get so many intuitive messages off of them. And it could be the same picture, different readings every time. So I really love this deck. The original tarot deck, for some reason, has not fully vibed for me, but I did get this deck gifted to me, and I wanted to use it. The cards are really beautiful, and I'm just gonna go off of, obviously, intuition as always. So go ahead and choose your reading. This will be, again, reading number 1 and reading number 2. And we're going to start with reading number 1 today. And so, starting off with this card here, the one that you chose, what I'm getting automatically is just a rebirth, really rising up from the ashes. It's very phoenix type energy, really being able to, they're telling me, hold your ground. So this pile, I feel like, has been through, they're just telling me cycles. Like, it's been cycle after cycle after cycle, and it feels like as soon as you come up for air, you go right back down again. And they're just saying you've gotten to a point where you've anchored yourself in. You've grounded and anchored yourself into a space where you can actually things can start to come into alignment. And from this space, everything that is in the they're showing me this, but I'm trying to put it into words, so excuse me for a moment. So it's like everything that you're, like, what they're showing me is like passions aligning, like people doing what they love, standing in their power, speaking their truth. It's deeper than that. They're saying it's aligning with your passion. So there's something that you've probably have been manifesting or trying to create for a really long time, and it seems like every time you felt like you were anchored and starting to align, you would go deeper into the cycle, and then you would anchor and align and you would go deeper. And so it feels like this pile has been through a lot of shadow work, but they're telling me that you've done the work. You're finally fully anchored, and from here all there is to do is rise. So let's see what else they have for you. Just some quick messages for this Moonday reading for this pile. Yeah, don't doubt yourself. They're saying the thing that has continued to take you deeper and deeper into these cycles is that you doubt, that you have this doubt of, can this really happen? Is this for me? Man, there's so much. Okay. They said keep those. Okay, one more. So getting out of the doubt again, back, and this was in one of my recent readings, is it's getting into the energy of belief. Are you really truly believing that what you've been manifesting, what you've been creating, what you've been feeling is coming to light? It's coming to truth. It's coming to fruition. All right. Okay, so they're telling me that... Okay, they want me to... Okay, there we go. All right, so first off, they're just telling me that for a long time, you've carried a weight. You've carried this excess stuff that you don't need to be carrying. And I'm hearing ancestry, but I feel like it is... I feel like you may have thought that you were supposed to carry on certain things, or that you were supposed to clear things, and they're saying that you've carried it far enough. You've proven your strength. You're super connected. I feel like those of you who chose this pile are highly intuitive, and there's this energy of like coming out of victimhood that they're telling me. So really, like, almost like it was part of the character, and this is to do with the ancestry too. So almost like victim mentality has been part of the character in your ancestry for so long, and that you tried so hard not to be in that space, and yet because of the ancestry, your soul took on some things that they're saying it really didn't have to. And you're ready to let go. So, you see him like carrying this weight, this burden, and he has the key to unlock it, to take it off of him, to not have to carry it anymore. And when he takes it off, he's also, they're telling me like he's taking, it's interesting because this is a chain, but they're telling me he's losing his jewels. So there is going to be a loss with this, and that's probably what's been holding you back, is that you haven't wanted to let go of something completely. And you know that once you do fully let go, that this manifestation, this creation, whatever it is that you have been desiring or wanting, is going to come into fruition. But because of your doubts, because you've been having a hard time believing, you're still holding on to whatever it is that had a little bit of a safety net for you. So think about what it is for you that you've been uncomfortable, that makes you uncomfortable. Thank you. What it is for you that makes you uncomfortable, because that's where the key is, right? It's in those uncomfortable feelings. And it's they're telling me like the going back and forth between, purging heavy emotions and standing in your light, and purging heavy emotions and standing in your light. The problem is when you get into this purge, sometimes you go into that victim mentality and you start carrying all of this weight again. And they're saying you don't need to do that. So free yourself from having to carry the weight. Okay, so I'm asking for you, what can they do to free themselves from creating that? So what they're saying is whatever it is that you're not letting go of, whatever it is that you're not letting go of, you're actually blocking their healing. So can you go further for that, please? There's something that you're just like a comfort zone, something that keeps you comfortable, something that helps. Almost, I feel like this is people or family, and it's like you don't want to let them go because you're afraid. There's just this little bit of fear of, what if things don't work out? What if this doesn't end up being what I thought it was going to be? It's like you're taking that risk, that plunge, but they're telling me you've already done it. You've already went in. You've grown through so much in this shadow. You're now rising up and aligning. But to do that, you have this last little bit of weight that you don't need to carry anymore. And once you let this go, this could be like a home that you're letting go of, like something that Like maybe you've been living somewhere for a long time, and there's this energy of like not wanting to let it go, but knowing that you deserve better, or you want more for your life. This can be family. It could be, family or friends that you're just not aligning with anymore, and you know this and they know this, and there's got to be this just transition in what the relationships are like. So maybe not being as close, finding new soul tribe, or not carrying their burdens is what I just heard. Not carrying their burdens. So you may be carrying stuff for other people that's not yours, and there's this, okay, and they're telling me it's the guilt. There's a little bit of guilt of, well, if I go, like, if I leave, this person's not going to be okay. But they're saying that's not your decision to make. That's part of their journey. And this is you when you go into that space. So you're mostly in your light, but when you go into this space of like, oh, what are they going to do without me? You take yourself so deep. It's like you really drop down into this darkness that isn't even yours. It's like you're dropping into their shadow for them, and Spirit's saying you don't have to be in that space anymore. So it's just I feel like it's time for you to like shake it off, like be yourself. As I'm saying that, I'm looking up and I see, I believe I can, and so I will. And it's like this woman jumping off of the side of a mountain, and like it's like that tower moment, right? Like that tower moment of everything is burning around me. Am I going to continue on this ship and burn down with it, or am I going to jump into the ocean and hope that, I'm going to be okay? And they're telling you, take that jump, because once you do, then healing is going to come to those that you're trying to avoid hurting. Deep healing is going to come to those that you're trying to avoid hurting. So you taking this next step, you fully letting go, whatever that means, is actually the next step in their evolution as well. So you are a reason right now where they are cycling as well. So allow yourself, you're anchored, you're grounded, you're connected, you are rising up, and you just have this last little bit to let go of. So that is all for this pile. I hope that this message reads well for you. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And check out my 12/12 messages this week, and the full moon coming up very soon as well. All right, take care. Aloha to those of you that chose the Queen. And let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, there we go. And this message came out in reverse. And so right away, what I feel, like even my tone changed. I don't know if you noticed that. I did. Right away, what I'm feeling is like your body is needing some nurturing. You're needing to, like, your cells are asking for some love. Thank you. They're telling me that it's time to look back. Man, the words are blanking right now. I apologize. Start with just like a week. What did you do in the last week, and how did it align you towards what you want or what you're working towards? Okay. And then go back 2 weeks, and then go back a month, and then go back 3 months, and then go back 6 months. and be brutally honest with yourself. What have you done in the past 6 months that has moved you towards what you are wanting? What have you done that has taken the steps towards how you are wanting to live your life? And for some of you, this is going to be a wake-up call, because this isn't specifically, they're saying this isn't outside of yourself. This is you, your body, your being, your soul. What have you done for you? So I don't feel like this is like studying or putting things together or trying, like, creating something. I feel like this is very internal. It's like, if you want to live a healthier life, are you moving? Are you eating well? Are you, are you finding silence to quiet your mind? Are you doing the things that are going to nourish your body and your soul? Or are you, tapping out? Are you spending a lot of time on social media? Are you not really nurturing and loving yourself the way that you could be? That's where Spirit is coming in now with like a kind of check yourself. You got to check yourself before whatever it is that you're wanting to happen is going to happen. Because ultimately, everything comes back to self. Everything comes back to us. What are we doing? And then how are we radiating that energy out? So if you're not working on yourself, or if you're just in this like hermit mode and not doing anything to better yourself, or you're focused too much on your work, or you're focused too much on maybe taking care of someone or being there for someone, how is that affecting your well-being? What are you doing that's nourishing self, is what they're saying. So let's see what kind of cards want to come out for this pile. Okay. There's the first one. All right, let's see what else. Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Goodness. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of messages that want to come out through here. They're just telling me to flip them all. Interesting. I've never done that before. So let's see what we got. Man. Okay. Wow. I thought this was going to be a quick reading, and I feel like it turned into like a full-on reading. So interesting way they wanted me to place the cards. So what they're telling me is that at the center of everything you're growing through, the one thing that's really standing out is that you are highly intuitive. You have a knowing of what's coming. You feel it. It's like it feels like it's on the other side of the door, and all you have to do is open it up. The problem still is that you're not feeling worthy enough, that you're not feeling like it's yours. So there's a lot of messages in here, so we'll just start to break them down. So the first one is not feeling worthy. It's still seeing yourself as somewhat broken, right? Still like looking in the mirror and going, can I do this? Am I ready for this? Is this, really, am I worthy of this? I mean, really, they're like, you can't really say it any better than that. Am I worthy of this? And then you go back and forth. So in some cases, you feel super worthy You are in your power. You're standing in your light. You are your own creator. You are making everything happen exactly the way that you want it to. And then with just like a few moments later, you come into this like self-destructive, fiery energy where you start overthinking and creating things that are of the opposite of what you want. When you start worrying, you start creating that energy of like, oh my gosh, could this actually happen? So why not be in the energy of creating what it is that you want? This has been a big lesson for myself. I'll tell you, like, I've really, in the last year, had to become even more mindful than normal about what my thoughts were creating and how I was sometimes allowing myself to fall into victim mentality. And from that victim mentality, I was creating all of this worry, and my mind was making these things truly happen in the physical. And so they're saying the same is for you, that you're in this space where you're super tapped in. It's like you already know what's coming. It's on the other side of the door. All you have to do is open that door and allow yourself to receive. And you're going back and forth between these two energies of self-destruction and standing in your light. So what's gonna... Okay, they said go over the other ones. So again, the knowing that I feel like this is just something really big. Like your world is about to change completely. This is probably a soul cycle shift, maybe the one that I've been speaking about on a lot of my readings lately. But this is an energy of being fully in alignment, coming into this space. And so you see how the way they had me do this one was like kind of covered. And this one is like unity, oneness, wholeness, being truly grounded and in your light and protected and transformative and multidimensional, and just living in this beautiful space of unity and power and love. And this is the space that this is New Earth, right? This is like the part that we all want to come into, where everything is aligned. We're speaking our truth. We're connected with our highest self. We're harmonized, and everything is coming into fruition. Everything is here. They're not saying coming into fruition. It's here. It's here. It's here. They keep telling me it's here. So what's still blocking it is the unworthiness, right? The self-sabotage, going back and forth between standing in your light and then being your own destructive fire. And there's this energy right now of the masculine on like overtaking the feminine. So that's why they had me put this card like this. It's like the masculine is coming back in, and it's I feel like this is a lot of like very collective energy. Like it may not even all be yours. You may be picking up on the people around you, and which is why it's so important to protect yourself, and not to the point where you're calling in any energies that need to be protected from, but really protect yourself by standing in your light, by being in your power, by not going into this destruction, self-destruction of like, they're telling me like loneliness and pity and not feeling like you're worthy enough, and not being able to fully look in the mirror and love yourself, because there's this, because the masculine is overriding the feminine right now. And remember, the feminine is very soft and nurturing and loving and vulnerable, and the masculine is action forward, movement, protection, right? Making things happen. So they're telling you soften and rest, soften and rest, soften and rest, because this is what you're playing right now. You're like the good and the bad. It's like they're showing me, it's like that image of like the little angel on one shoulder and the little devil on the other shoulder, and one's telling you to do one thing and one's telling you to do something else, and which one are you going to follow, or which one are you going to align with? And there are gifts waiting for you. These gifts are waiting for you just on the other side of the door. It's like there's this whole energy of abundance, of blossoming, of harvesting, of all this energy is like here and it's ready for you. And they're asking you to get out of that masculine energy. The masculine is the safety as well, right? Like knowing that you're safe and protected and grounded, which are great things to be balanced in. However, if you have too much of that energy, then you're probably overthinking. You're probably thinking that you have to, have XYZ, have all your ducks in a row, have everything that's perfect before you move into that next round or that next layer of evolution for yourself. So they're telling you to tap out of that, come back into this space. They said specifically this music was playing tonight for this pile. So I'm going to be quiet for just a moment. Hopefully you can hear it. And more importantly than the music, they're telling me is that this pile needs to find silence, complete silence, and tapping into that space, tapping into what it is that you want. And in that space, visualizing it, feeling it, right? Because part of you not feeling worthy of it, part of you being heavy in your masculine, and part of you being self-destructive in that space is that there's this fear. That deep down there's this fear that it's not going to happen. And then what? And that's not the truth. And to find the truth, it's going to take you quieting down your mind and allowing yourself to be in some silence. If you can get out into nature, find silence. If you can just shut everything off and just sit in silence for 10 minutes, you may actually really enjoy it. I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been sitting in silence, and when I'm in that space, I'm tapping into the things that I'm creating, and I'm visualizing them, and I'm feeling them, and I can feel them in my physical, in the body. I know that when you tap into that space, that you're really working in the quantum, and you're letting go of everything else that's in your head, that's in your mind, that's creating the doubt or the confusion or the worry or the self-sabotage. So find some time to be silent in the next few days. And I hope this reading resonated for you. If it did, if you can like or send it to someone who may need this message as well. I feel like a lot of people are growing through this right now. Yeah. And I'll hope to see you back for one of the other 2 readings in the next several days. Take care.